everybody, my name is Simone and welcome to Simone's Bedtime Stories. Me and my pals are getting ready to sleep and we are going to hear a bedtime story. Hi Daddy, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes.
Alright, Simone. Okay, so let's continue the story of what? Mahabharat. So what did we do in the last episode? What did we learn?
We learned about this king called King
Shantanu.
Shantanu.
And this king had married this beautiful lady. She was called Ganga. She had 8 sons,
And
right?
she
7
killed
sons, exactly.
7 sons, but she said he could keep the 8th one, and he asked, where are you from, what's her name, and she told her name, and why she was killing the 8 sons.
Exactly. So the 8th son is called the Devavrata. He came back and now he's big and he's living with the king, right?
Yeah.
He's the prince now, or at least he's the one that's going to become the prince or next king. So like this, this King Shantanu is living and he has gotten very old. He is very old and he's very sad. Why is he sad?
Because he's gonna die.
No, because he misses this Ganga very much, right? Because this Ganga was such a beautiful lady, and he was so happy with her, living with her. They had a nice family and all that, and she went away. So he's very sad, and he's living, right? And he's also old, and so there is this, so in the river there is this another woman, right? Another lady called Satyavati.
But it's not Ganga.
It's not Ganga. So this Satyavati, what she does is, she is the daughter of the fisherman. She is the daughter of the chief of the fishermen. See, there is a community that lives there in that shores of Ganges, river Ganges, and their job is, they live by catching fish. They live by catching fish and selling the fish in the nearby village. People buy the village and give them food to eat and things like that. So there is this chief of this fisherman, and his daughter is Satyavati, right? What is her name?
Satyavati.
Satyavati. So she, the king, her job is to take anybody that wants to cross the river from one bank to the other bank, right? So she has a boat, and people will climb in that boat, and she'll take her, she'll take them all the way to the other side of the bank, and then that's what her job is. So the king is also going one day in the boat like that, and she likes her very much. For some reason, she smells very good. She had this unique smell that is very good, and the king liked her so much, and he's the king, and he says, hey, he wants to marry her, right? And there is a story behind Satyavati also. Satyavati, when she was very young, right, there was a sage called a Parashar, right? This sage, because she is a fisherman, right? I mean, she is a daughter of a fisherman, and fishermen, they do all the things related to fish. And fish, because they have to catch the fish, and they have to clean the fish, and they have to wash the fish, and they have to take the fish to the nearby village or city or wherever, and then they have to sell the fish and things like that. So they do a lot of things with the fish. So all the smell of the fish gets to their body also. So they smell bad, right? They have the smell of fish. So like this woman, who is the daughter of the chief of the fishermen there in that community, right? She also smells of fish, right? So the sage Parashar looked at her, and she was so sad all the time before, and he said, hey, you look so nice, and you're doing this job so nicely. I like you very much. You know what? I'm going to give you 2 things. One is, with my special powers, I'm going to give you good smell. You'll not have the bad smell, good smell, and also I'll give you another, boon, another, special thing. You'll have a son. And she's so happy, okay, oh, I got a nice smell, and then I also got a nice son, and the son's name is Vyas.
So no matter what, if she's still working with fish, no matter what, she'll smell good?
Exactly. She'll smell good. She'll have a good smell. Right. So that son's name is Vyas, and he's the one, he becomes a very, very learned scholar, and he learns Vedas.
What's a scholar?
Scholar is a guy who learns a lot, who knows a lot of things, who studies a lot, who learns, a lot of things, and who's able to analyze complicated matters, and who's able to deduct, good, logical reasoning and things like that. So that's what when you, let's say, you study a lot and then you become a, why are you doing that? So you study a lot and you, become a smart girl, with all the special knowledge you accumulate, then you also become a scholar. They'll tell you, Simone the scholar. Right? So like that, this Veda Vyas, becomes a scholar because he reads the 4 Vedas. See, there are 4 Vedas. Vedas are similar to Mahabharata, right? It's all, even older than Mahabharata. There are special knowledge that the ancestors gave to the people, and those are called Vedas. It's Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda. It's called, special scriptures. It tells about.
They are also stories like Mahabharata?
Some have stories and some are not stories. The ones that are not stories, they just tell, you have to live life like this. This is what it is, like that. They are not exactly stories, okay? So Veda Vyas, this Vyas, who is, the son of Satyavati, he leaves Satyavati and he says, hey, because, how did she get that baby? Because the sage Parashar gave her a special boon and said, hey, here is your baby. And that son is Vyas, and that Vyas, he grew up, and he also smells bad, because at the time this lady had a bad smell, right? He also smells bad and he doesn't look very beautiful. He's also like little scary looking, right? So this Vyas left to the forest. He said, hey, I'm going to go to the forest, and call me whenever you need help. I'll come and help you. So he says that, and then he goes. So meanwhile, this king, so after, that all that happened early on when Satyavati was young, right? So now, Satyavati is slightly old, and king, likes the Satyavati very much, and the king wants to marry Satyavati, right? Now Satyavati has good smell. She has this special smell, right? Because that sage Parashar gave that smell. So Satyavati is like this. The king likes Satyavati so much, and the king goes to the chief of the fishermen. Who is that?
Her father?
Satyavati's father, right? So he goes to the chief of the fishermen and asks, hey, chief of the fishermen, I want to marry your daughter. And the chief of the fishermen says, really? You want to marry my daughter? Okay, I am fine with that, but you have to make me a promise. If she gets married, and let's say she has a son, that son has to become the next king of your kingdom. But who does the king already has a prince, right? Has a son, right? What is his name? Devavrata. Right? Who is Devavrata?
He's the son from Ganga.
Ganga, 8th son from Ganga, right? Exactly. So that 8th son from Ganga is Devavrata, and he is still big and grown up with the king, living with the king, prince, and he is, he was thinking he's going to become the next king. But this chief of the fishermen, what is he saying?
He's saying that when that king and
Satyavati
marry, then that son has to become the king.
Exactly. So the king is so sad. Oh, no, that's not going to happen. I'm just going to, no, I don't want to get married. That's not going to happen. I cannot promise that, because Devavrata is such a nice kid. He's such a nice prince, and he's the one that's going to become the next king. So the king says that, and then he comes back. And he comes back and he's even more sad. He's like, oh, I did not have Ganga, I wasn't able to marry Satyavati, that's fine. And then Devavrata looks at his dad. Hey dad, why are you so sad? What has happened? Then he learns all this happened. The king wanted to marry Satyavati. He went and talked to his Satyavati's dad, and that's what the response he got. Devavrata is very sad. He wants to do good things, right? Yeah. He wants to do good things for his dad. So he, what he does, he goes to the chief of the fishermen and he says, hey, my dad wants to marry Satyavati, give your daughter, and I want to take her and, make my dad happy. And the chief of the fishermen says, okay, how about this? If, they get married and Satyavati has a son, and, that son needs to become the king. And the Devavrata says, really? Oh, that's fine. Yeah, Devavrata is a good guy, right? He's a very good guy. He's like, oh, that's fine. I don't want to become a king. That's perfectly fine if they have a son and that he can become a king. So he says he agrees to that. And then the chief of the fishermen asks one more question. Okay, you are fine with that. Tomorrow, let's say later this happens, you get married and you have your son, and what if that son wants to become the prince, what becomes the king of the country? Then Devavrata thinks, oh really? Okay, you know what? I am never going to get married. I am going to be a brahmachari. That means I am not going to marry at all. I'm just going to live by myself. I'm not going to marry anybody. I'm not going to have kids. I'm not going to have a family for myself. He is willing to sacrifice all that, do so much sacrifice for his dad, because he's such a nice guy. So then the chief of the fishermen agrees. So he takes Satyavati. Who takes Satyavati?
The king's son.
Devavrata, right? Devavrata. Tell his name.
Devavrata.
He takes the Satyavati in his chariot, and then he brings Satyavati in the chariot to the king. What is the king's name? Shantanu. Shantanu, right? So he gives, and the king is so happy. The king is like, oh, Devavrata, did you really do that? You don't want to get married at all? You're going to become a brahmachari? Is that what you're doing for me? Yes, dad, yes. I want you to be happy first. You be happy, and you marry Satyavati and you have a happy family. That's more important for me. I don't have to become the king. He says that. And the king is so happy. Oh, Devavrata, you are such a nice son I've got for myself. You know what? I am going to bless you with this special power. You will be called Bhishma, and you know what? You get to choose the time that you want to die. So you have this special power where nobody can kill you, or you will not die by accident or by anything, but you will die only when you decide that you want to die. So the king gives that special power to him. So, and from then on, he's called what?
Bhishma.
Bhishma, right? So that's the end of the second episode. There are a lot of episodes coming, right? So let's stop here.
Okay, bye everybody. I hope you enjoyed my story. Don't forget, you can always listen to more.
All right.